Hi, I'm Jermaine and this is Jan.
Hello.
We're here today to show you how to make some Christmas wreaths. Ordinarily, we'd all be together in the hall, having a wonderful time making wreaths. Unfortunately, this year, as you all know, we can't get together, so we've decided to do something online. This year, we're not going to be doing our wreaths with Oasis. We've decided to go the more organic, natural route, so we're going to be using wireframes and moss. We're doing our wreaths this year for a charity. As you all know, Tim Wake has recently been diagnosed with motor neuron disease. We're not going to ask you to pay for anything. We would like you to donate to Tim's Christmas charity events, which will go towards motor neuron disease research. You'll find a link attached at the end of the presentation.
Before you start, make sure you have all the things that you need around you. You can get everything online or from your local florist or from your garden centre or from your garden. Like everything in life, everything is in the preparation. The preparation for the wreath, we start with a frame, a wire frame we buy in Longacre or online, and this is a reel of wire. So the first thing we do is attach the reel of wire to the frame. And all I do is just put the wire over the frame and just turn and turn until it's anchored. Keep a piece of that wire hanging at the top so you know where the top of your wreath is, so you can put your decorations on later on. So we start getting some moss, and it must be quite a big chunk of moss each time. So I've got quite a large piece here of the moss, and I just go round the frame and I take the wire and go round. It gets easier the more you do. Feels a bit awkward at first, and you do it in your own time, in your own way, but make sure you really anchor it in. So that's the first clump. So I'm going to get another piece now and put it next door and add it on. And we'll go right around the frame.
Make sure that when you start working with your moss, that you also, as you can see, it's got a lot of sticks in it, so we try and take some of the sticks out. And then also just open it up a bit so that you give it a bit of air and it's easier to use.
Yes, it's all bitty, so you put the bits together, and once you've anchored them, they'll stay put. Make sure there's some at the back, which will protect your door once you've hung the wreath on the door. It takes quite a bit of time the first time you do it, so don't be disheartened.
I spray mine every couple of days just to make sure that it stays nice and moist, especially if you're going to be using fresh flowers as decoration. Once you've finished, you just hold it up like Jan's doing, and you look at it from all different angles just to see that
there's a few bits there I need to fill in.
There's a few spots that are missing, or you haven't pulled it tight enough. You can always keep going over and over it.
You can put. I've just done exactly that. I've just put some extra bits in there where it looked a little bit tatty. So I will put individually some pieces of conifer. But you want to do bunches? Jermaine does it slightly differently. You can do
I do
your
mine
own
with
thing.
bunches. I'll show you how I do mine.
I'm going to go like a Catherine wheel around with some conifer.
So what I always do is make sure that the bottom of your stems are always clean. That obviously gives you a nice point that you can use to anchor your greenery. And I'm going to layer it all up to make
she's making 4 bunches. That's lovely.
Because the bunches, I just find, for me, they're easier and I can keep layering it on top of each other.
Yes.
This also has just come out of my garden. Clean the edges. And then I also add some tree ivy. I think the tree ivy is really nice. The little berries on it adds color and different texture and dimension. What I also do is I try and cut all the stems to the same length, which makes it easier to work with. I then take my bunch and I place it down on top of the wreath and just wire it all around.
What are those called? The stub?
Oh, the stub wires.
The stub wires
So these
make
are
it
stub
easier.
wires.
So I've got some as well.
Individual wires, which are stronger than the real wire, which makes it easier if you want to anchor something in, if you wanted to put in a decoration or an individual stem, you can just wire it around that.
And with the wire, you can just twist it and then put it into the wreath itself. Anything and everything will be lovely because it's natural, it's nature, so whatever you do will be lovely.
Okay, so you just keep making bunches, always starting with the bigger greenery at the back and work your way down. Having some fun with some greenery and some decorations.
That's sort of half of it done. I hope you get a chance to do this. I know lots of you came to the wreath making last year and everyone enjoyed it. They went out smiling, so hopefully when you do yours this time you'll be smiling. And then of course make your donation to the charity. We thought we might do some wreaths for Christmas at the church. So if anybody wants to make an extra one, you could maybe give it to us and we could put it up.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Our Christmas decorations for the church.
It is a messy business, so make sure that you've got a big table to work on.
Yep.
Maybe not your dining room table, outside, or make sure that it's covered.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at trying to figure out how many bundles you need and what you need to put in there, I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 layers of different greenery, just to give it a bit of depth and feeling.
Just keep going with what you're doing and you'll find that because it's nature, something will happen and you'll think, oh, yeah, that's okay. Red, yeah, anything. The way to do the ribbon, so we double up the ribbon through the middle, take the 2 ends and put it through the loop. There you go. So I'm just going to take the ribbon off and finish my wreath so it looks a bit tidier.
I've actually used some artificial flowers here. They're not all real. And then obviously some dried flowers. Dried flowers are very on trend at the moment, so feel free to use those as well.
Pine cones, they're so easy to wire. You can use the stud wire and you just wind it round the bottom layer of the cone and then twist it and then stick it in anywhere you like. They just lighten it up a little bit, especially if you spray them silver or white.
And don't be scared to use any little leftover pieces. I've just been gathering all little pieces and just bundling them together. It doesn't matter if they're short, you can always just add them, and then when you wire it, it'll obviously stay in place.
And I hope we can do next year all together in the hall. And we'll keep using the rings. We won't go back to the Oasis, I don't think, as we're trying to live simply and more eco-friendly. One of the things I do is put newspaper down before I start. So all you've got to do is wind the newspaper up, put it in the bin with the newspaper. Only be careful of your diamonds.
So Jan, when you finished yours, did you just end off your wire and then just fold it at the back?
Yes,
yeah?
and I just cut it, yeah.
Okay.
That's a particularly lovely one, Jermaine.
Thanks. At this point, if you wanted to add Christmas lights.
Oh, yeah.
Because I do that on my door so that you can see the wreath at night.
Ah, nice.
Now's the time to wind your Christmas lights around it before you put decorations on.
Lovely idea.
Which ribbon do we think, Jan? This one or that one?
I personally like that, but
do you?
That's equally as nice. Jermaine, you choose.
I'm sure Jan told you, but I always make sure that my ribbon is extra long, just because when I hang it over the door, you never know how long you need that. You'd rather have it too long so you can cut it shorter than too short and then you can't do anything with it.
Don't cut the ribbon too short.
These little wax flowers, I'm actually not going to wire in because they do have quite a hard stem, so you can push them in quite nicely.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And I think they'll be quite secure.
Absolutely beautiful flower.
Little bit of gold glitz to add some excitement. Maybe I've got too much.
Yeah, I'm just putting a bit more mistletoe in here.
And here are some of the grasses that are very popular right now. These have just been sprayed gold, but like on that one there, they're more natural. So that could be quite nice to add in.
Yeah.
Now it's also just, once you start looking at it, it depends on the...
Absolutely sumptuous.
I might take this out, I just need to look at it first. It might be too...
Nothing is wrong, but
it might be too big.
Yeah. See what you think.
I think with the finer details, I don't know about you, Jan, but I like to put it on my door.
Exactly.
And then once it's on your door, you can see it
what
better.
you're doing. You put it
And you can add to it then.
The same with the table decoration. If
Yeah.
you use that as a table decoration, you could add candles.
And then to add some pine cones in, those are always nice. I think they add a bit of...
Yeah.
So you take a pine cone and your stub wire, and you see where the little grooves are. You just take it and you wrap it in between those little grooves.
Make a stem.
Make a stem.
There we go. Looks, yeah, clever.
And then you just use that. And the same concept for oranges. You'll take your wire and you'll put it through these grooves. You just
push it through.
push it through and then twist your wire like that. So there we go. Hang it on your door, make sure you water it with some mist, fine mist, and just add in once it's on your door where you feel that there are any gaps.
Yeah.
So we hope you have fun making your wreaths, and we hope that you donate to Tim's charity.
Thank you for joining us. Please make sure you click on the link at the bottom of this video, where you will find a step-by-step guide which includes everything you need to make your own beautiful Christmas wreath, as well as more information about the charity.